Everyone.
Mhm. Good evening, everyone.
Yes, how is everyone doing? It's been a while, a
Yes,
couple of weeks
more than
since,
that.
right? Since
Yes.
Maya and I have been coming and doing our Facebook live. We were doing a study on Monday, so let's apologize. It was in a sense a good problem to have because Maya was doing some wonderful projects. She was working a lot with the Hispanic community and she's going to be translating all that in English. So we're
Yay.
going to have the pleasure. She was doing a 5-day challenge
Yes.
on one of her wonderful project, which is the hero's journey, correct?
No, that one is about the orders of love.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, the Orders of Love. Okay,
Yes.
so she was working on that project for the Hispanic community. So she was busy doing that, but we are here back. Today we're doing it on Sunday because tomorrow is Memorial Day and we want to
Yes.
honor all the people that gave their lives in order to keep us safe here in the United States. So we honor all the soldiers, all the nurses, the doctors, the families, the
Yes.
supporters. So we want to honor you in advance and
And
say
and
thank you.
speaking of that, yes, honoring that, we our subject, our topic today is about inclusion. So we want to honor all of those who somehow sacrificed or gave their lives for others. And we honor them and we include them because that's our topic today and that's what this day is about or this tomorrow is about.
Right. And it's a very, I call it a very unique, yet very interesting topic about the importance of including everyone in our lives.
Yes.
Because when everything is said and done, we are all one. We are all one.
We
So
tend to forget that.
we tend to, especially when,
Yes.
some people, we don't want to include them. We feel like they're not like us and we're not like them. So it's a different way of thinking.
Yes, and also it's energetically too. Sometimes we say, yes, I accept you, but you say it mentally, but energetically you are not. Hi, Danny and Freddie, thank you so much. I see you there. Thank you for being here. You're waving, we're
definitely.
waving back.
Definitely. Hi. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for
Yes.
joining us. Thank you for following Maja and following us. I love the fact I love your support. So thank you very much.
Yes, we love your support and we love that you're here.
Absolutely.
Open
And
to
Sunday.
open to listen to this information.
A little different. This will be a little different.
It's a different vision. It's called the systemic vision. Sometimes we only get to see things from our perspective, but also we have a vision that we miss sometimes because we don't see the larger picture. And that's what we are here for.
To talk about that a little bit. So I am going to, well, let's introduce ourselves again.
Please.
My name is Janet Luciano, and
I am Maya Dari del Sol.
And welcome. And like I always say, go get your cup of coffee or cup of tea or your drink and come and have a little chat with us.
Please.
As we talk about inclusion.
Yes.
And I'm going to turn it over to you, Maya.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much, Janet, for the beautiful introduction. We want to talk today about this topic because sometimes we pretend to say that we are accepting things that we are not. And what happens here is that when you don't include, what you don't include wants to be included. In order for that to happen, then you attract the same type of experience or the same type of situation or the same type of people that you don't like in order for you to see them in front of you again and say, I don't like you or I do include you. So we have only those two options. And that's why we want to bring this topic today and see when you reject, you create exclusion. And so we can talk here about many different directions. It could be when it comes to your family, because within the family, there is exclusion, more than what you can imagine. Also, you exclude people in your society because they have different perspectives. where it is political, where it is beliefs, where it is cultural, religious. So all of those count as a sort of exclusion. And we want to say one thing before we continue.
Our favorite one is, always the black sheep of the family.
The black sheep of the family, like that's the beginning, right?
Yeah, the black sheep of the family.
That's when every family has a black sheep in the family. That usually is the one that shows what the system needs to see.
Exactly.
Yes.
Those are the brave souls. So for if any of you are the black sheep,
thank you.
Yeah, we are the brave soul because we bring the awareness.
We honor you for being the black sheep.
Absolutely. And Maya's gonna go deep into that. So
yes, usually the black sheep is the one that creates this commotion in the family because wants to do it differently.
Discomfort, they create discomfort, and it could even be awkward.
Yes, people consider it as awkward, but it's not. What this person is doing is showing the system what hasn't been included. So let's give people an example so they can understand better. Let's say that someone excludes someone in the system because, let's say, a son decided to become a criminal, or let's say that wants to do drugs, or let's say that even when it comes to
gay and lesbian,
gay people, yes, the parents actually not long ago I had a case of this person who came and his parents were Catholic, very Catholic. And he said that when he came out of the closet, he told them, and then they said everything is going to be okay. But they were saying that from their thoughts and their mouth, but the energy that he felt, he said that there was like silence like for a week and that they couldn't even communicate. So he could feel the exclusion energetically. See, it's not what you say, but it's what you feel that the other person is feeling, and is creating that sort of rejection and exclusion.
And that's one thing that can't be hidden. It will be in your face, and you were feeling.
It shows.
Feel it. It just shows. There's nothing you can do to not show it.
That is true. It's like we pretend not to, but our face shows it, our body posture shows it, and the other person feels that rejection, that sort of, I don't like you, and then that sort of turning around and say, and then you're not in my circle because of what you're doing, or because of what you're thinking, or because of what you're saying, because all of this is included there. And then we must consider all of these little details to understand when we are excluding and not noticing it. Yes. So that's why we're here today, right?
Absolutely. And what's interesting that I have noticed that when you exclude, and it's like what Maya said, you attract those same scenario in different situation and experience in your life. And then you wonder why. And that's why we need to step back.
Yes. And simple things. One time I did this sort of a dynamic, and it was very interesting to see this in my own. The dynamic was like this. Someone said, okay, write on a piece of paper things that you don't like. And everybody wrote things down, things that you don't like. So she took all of those papers and then she shuffled them, and then we ended up taking other pieces of paper out of that bag, which weren't ours. When you take that piece of paper out of you and then you put them in front of you and you start seeing that, for example, there was one that said alcoholic. And then I was reading that, I said, but I'm not alcoholic, I don't have that in me. But then once I started like reading more, like connecting to the information of that alcoholic part in me, I could realize that back then I was addicted to buying clothing. So for example,
that there's some type of addiction.
Yes.
Like for me, I sometimes I say I'm and how you call it? Forget it. An alcoholic, even though I'm not. I'm a dry drunk. That's what I say. I'm a dry drunk because I have all the characteristic
Mhm.
of an alcoholic.
Mm.
But I don't classify myself as an alcoholic. Oh no, no, no. See, I am excluding.
You are excluding energetically. You're saying, no, I'm
Mhm.
not that, but I am.
But you are.
We
Yeah.
all are.
We all have some form of addiction.
We all have it all. This is best to say. We all have all of those pieces of what we don't like in others or in things. They all are in us.
And you know why we know that?
Mhm.
Because we are attracting them to us.
Yes. Our best mirrors are those experiences or that people that we don't like. That's our best mirror to say, but listen, this is what you have that you don't want to see within you. But I'm pulsing within you. And I just want you to see me. And once you get to see it, then you can integrate it. And you can say, yes, I'm addicted.
Mhm.
Yes, I'm a perpetrator. Yes, I'm a liar.
That was
Yes,
a hard one for
I'm a
me.
killer. Yes, I
was
betray.
hard.
Yes, I'm not honest. You know, all of these little things that, oh, you say like, no, I'm not like that. Yes, you are.
You hear that? You are.
We all have that, and we cannot heal that until we don't integrate it.
And it's nothing to be ashamed about.
Yes, no.
There's no judgment.
No, because that comes systemically.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that it's an inheritance that came from our ancestors that we somehow reject to do because it's not approved by society. So we say, no, I'm not doing that. But we are doing that to ourselves. Maybe I'm not betraying others, but maybe I'm betraying my own dreams by not doing what I'm supposed to do. So it is a sort of betrayal.
Exactly.
We need to find how we are doing it. That's very important to find how is that applying into your life that you haven't been able to see, that you're judging out there, but you're not seeing within you.
Anybody that you are, this was a very difficult one for me. Anyone that you attract and you're saying, oh, I don't like that, or I don't like that situation, or even I don't like that person, they are mirroring you.
Yes. Abuse. People say, no, I'm not abusive to others. Maybe you are abusive to yourself. What about if you don't eat well?
Or talk to yourself really negative.
Exactly. You're not
Yourself-talk.
self-loving. Yeah, it's like the way you treat yourself. That's being abusive. You know, yeah, I'm not intelligent enough or I'm not good enough. That is a sort of an abuse. So it's just like start to listen to your own inner talking and see what you're saying to yourself.
And it becomes a little bit of very being diligent and kind of monitoring yourself.
Monitor yourself. Very
Yeah,
good. That's
monitor
a good
yourself
word.
because as you speak,
Mhm.
you know, some things are just going to happen because you're still unconscious about it.
Yes.
But as you keep listening to these talk and listen to us talk, you start becoming more aware.
Yes.
And as you become more aware, then when you say different things, you're like, wait a minute. And now you start observing. And that's the key.
That's the key to become a good self-observance of what you're saying within you or even outside, even your actions, because your actions also speak. Your thoughts, what you say, and your actions are the only way. It's your guidance, it's your guide.
The feelings that you feel.
Your feelings, your body. When you don't like something, how does your body react to that? That's speaking. That's saying, I don't like that.
Like sometimes I know this happens to me. You go into an area and you feel uncomfortable and you don't understand why. That's your body. That's your guide. It's telling you there's something about that area that is not good for you. It's not serving you. So it's warning you through your feelings.
At the same time, it's like, why am I disconnecting from this?
That's the other one.
That's the part that we must see since we're talking about exclusion. what is that part that I don't like about this, that I tend to disconnect? Because when I disconnect, then I reject, then I exclude myself, because that's what we do. Then we create separation. And when we create separation, it's not out there, it's not the others, it's your own mind who is creating the separation.
That's what I find so intriguing and fascinating. We are creating the separation.
We are creating the separation. We forget sometimes that we are one piece, one whole piece that moves all along wherever it goes. We all go together, intertwined. But at the same time, there is not a possible way that this piece can come out of this piece.
Mm-hmm.
And when this piece wants to come out of this piece, then you might think that the other ones are excluding you, or that you are leaving the group and then you're not belonging. But that's impossible, because in the reality of the spirit, this is only one piece. Mm-hmm. So we cannot separate from it. The only piece in ourselves that separates us from this is our thoughts, our perceptions, our limiting beliefs, and our mind.
It's like, think of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you might be the drop, you're still that drop in the entire ocean.
Yes. You belong.
You belong.
We all belong. We are part of it with all. Mm-hmm. With what is obscure, let's say, and what is light. Because we have both polarities, since we live in this 3D dimension that is dense. And that's how it works here. There are polarities. If we don't integrate both polarities, we cannot get to the middle point. We cannot get to the neutral. We tend to want to be the good ones, but not the bad ones. But we tend to avoid seeing that part that we don't like of ourselves, and we tend to hide it, and we tend to look in front of others like the light, but not the shadows. And the shadows are part of you too. That if we don't integrate those shadows, then we are excluding ourselves, because that is a part of ourselves.
That's the yin and the yang.
Yes.
That's the light and the dark. And they actually both good.
They both are great. Yes, there's nothing wrong with your shadow. Actually, sometimes when you integrate those parts, you can work better with them, because once you integrate them, you can recognize when you are like those emotions are rising up, and instead of acting out of unconsciousness, you can say, I'm feeling like I don't like this. You can like have this self-observation of where you're going with those emotions, and not allow those emotions to flow and express in an unconscious way that can hurt others out there. So that's the importance of including all of our parts.
And all the feelings, all the shadows.
All the feelings, all the shadows. So let's talk deeper here, because we are just talking about like individually,
ready?
Right?
Are you ready? Go ahead, Maya.
But let's talk about, where did we learn exclusion, for example?
Yeah, where did we learn that?
At home. At home. Where our parents believed it was right, that's what we believed it is right. So if something comes that is against that, then that's not a good thing. So I tend to say I reject, and then I exclude. Mm-hmm. And beyond that, beyond what mom and dad thought about others beliefs, others perspectives, other political parties, even the football teams, that all of that is excluding. You're excluding simple things because you like that one and I like this one because I think mine is better than yours. And I'm creating the separation right away. And there is no such thing. Each of those two parts, A and B, have a point that it's all because it wants to serve in a better way. And so I believe that if we do it this way, it's going to be better. And this has the same point. If you do it this way, it's going to be better. And we can include both and say, okay, yours can apply for your life and mine can apply for mine, and we are both good. So we can include that without creating that separation of yours is not good enough and I'm not going to deal with that, or I'm not willing even to see your own perspective, because that's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And we learned all of this early from the beginning, when we got conditioned by our parents, not saying that it was right or wrong, it was just how it was, that we got all of these memories that we learned by seeing and hearing and acting like them. We ended up behaving like them because that's how they got to survive, how they got to do it in the world. So we ended up saying, okay, that's the way to do it. Right?
And whatever trauma we received at that time, whether they experienced it and we saw it and we felt it, it's wired together.
Yes.
So all that's ingrained, and we don't even realize it, because I was 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't remember.
We don't remember.
We don't remember.
And it goes beyond. Let's talk about genders. Believe it or not, let's say mom and dad, right? Had some differences, right? And mostly mom maybe didn't say what she didn't like about that. Or maybe she did mention that to her kids, her children. Oh, I don't like your dad because of this and because of that. So this is a sort of exclusion, because then this mother is rejecting something from the father, which means that is excluding that part of him that I don't like.
And that goes even deeper, because then what happens to the children when that exclusion happens?
Then the children usually tend to be loyal to mom, because mom is the love, mom is the first connection, is what mom says. So if mom doesn't accept what the father is doing or thinking or doing or whatever, then the children tend to be on mom's side. And since mom doesn't like that about the father, they tend also to reject themselves. I don't like that part of my father that is within me. And I see often this when I do constellations. I do family constellations, and I can see when someone comes and says, "Oh, my dad, he was an alcoholic, or he was a drug addict, or he was abusive," and so this child doesn't embrace, doesn't integrate that part of the father, because it's a judgment. I don't want to have that because mom doesn't approve that part of my dad. And then they feel guilty of being, that's my essence. I have both. I cannot deny that is in my nature, because those memories of what the father couldn't resolve are pulsing within the child.
And then what do they do?
And then they ended up doing two things. One, they ended up doing the same as the father, or they don't do it, but then maybe they find a partner who has the same, they marry them. So that's the unconscious of saying no to that exclusion. And that's actually dangerous, because that's affecting people's lives, and they don't know, they don't understand why, but that's what's happening.
And it's also the gift, because now it's in front of them. And even though they might not understand it, you know what? They're starting to become aware, because they're creating a cycle. It's uncomfortable. They don't like it.
Yes, a repetitive pattern.
And that's when healing can begin.
That's when healing starts. When you can stop and say, oh, this is within me. I have this that I don't want to accept, but it's pulsing. That's why I'm attracting that into my life. And because my mom didn't approve that, didn't accept that, didn't include that from my dad, then I'm also excluding myself. And the more I exclude it, the more I attract the same. And we don't want that. That's why we brought this topic today, because we thought it was very important for you to be aware of the whole dynamic, because it's an unconscious dynamic that we don't get to see. It's very hidden. And we think that what happened in our lives is just a sort of a destiny, bad luck, and it's not.
Yeah, we don't see it because it's like Maya says, hidden. So we're not even aware that we are creating it in our lives. And when it's in front of us, then there we can start seeing it.
Yes.
We understand that it's pulsing.
Yes.
And this comes with work. It's not like it just we go like this and it happens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes you go through this a couple of times. But
More than that.
right. But when it takes you down and then like it breaks you, then
That's usually when you say, hold
that's
on.
your gift.
That's a blessing.
That's
That's
the
your
blessing.
blessing, because you're gonna be saying, why is this happening to me? What did I do to be carrying this, or to be bearing this, or that's too much for me? Why that's happening to me? And then you can stop and say, okay, instead of trying to fix it outside, that you need to take that journey within. And if it's not within you because it's not part of your past, maybe it is part of your ancestors' past that hasn't been resolved and is affecting you today.
And maybe you're the one that chose in this lifetime to heal it.
Yes, yes. Usually there is a brave one, which is usually the black sheep in the family,
Or the one that is different.
or the one that is different, yes. Usually the person who is different can have two directions. One, it can become the victim,
Mm-hmm.
or it can become more aggressive because the family doesn't understand him or her, or doesn't accept them, or they want to be included, they don't feel included. They can have that sort of
In your face.
struggling,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they, instead of trying to fix it, they become more rebel.
Right. More rebellious, yes.
And then there is one that says, maybe after going through so much pain, at certain point says, hold on, I want to change this. Because usually the black sheep, or the one who does it different in the system, is the one who comes with more light, let's say, ready to heal that the system hasn't been able to see and heal.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the one that play the tough roles. You know, they are the perpetrators.
Yes.
They are the alcoholic, the addictive, you know,
The criminal.
the criminals that. Oh, that's
And
the
not
stuff
only
they
that,
want.
also the ones who repeat the stories of abandonment, betrayal, abuse. All of that is an unconscious dynamic that we keep repeating because we don't see where it comes from.
So the beauty of this whole thing is that now
Mm-hmm.
we can look at everyone surrounding us with compassion.
Yes, definitely.
Because remember, we are all one. So, you know, like now when I think of
One piece. Remember what I just said?
yeah.
One piece.
When I think of criminals, you know,
Mhm.
now before I'm thinking, oh, now I think, wow,
Yeah,
what did he come to solve or she came to solve?
definitely. So let's say if you killed someone, you ask yourself, where is the killer within me?
Oh,
So I can include that person.
it's all about inclusion.
What am I killing in my life?
It could be your dreams.
It could be your dreams, it could be your projects. Why am I doing that? Because I'm procrastinating, because I'm lazy, because I don't feel prepared, because I don't love myself enough, because I don't feel deserving. What is it that you're killing, or you are being the killer in your life?
So that's a good one to really I say take a breath and step back because I mean I'm sure we've done it one way or another, killed something in us.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know, without even being aware. You know, we get caught up in busy life, but that's just a way of avoiding facing stuff that we're stopping ourselves from doing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's another reason for procrastination,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
self-sabotage.
Yes, so all of these have run through generations. And so it's not you, it's all within you, but it's not you. I'm sure you want to change that and you don't know why. So, our invitation for you is to review what is in your system that hasn't been healed that could be affecting you today. And then just know that it can be liberated, that you can change that you can change your destiny and that repetitive pattern by just finding out, identifying the root cause of conflict, which mostly is connected to your family system.
And that's what's fascinating. So you guys, you have the power to change it,
Mhm.
and that's a beautiful thing. You know, you have that power, and through family constellation, there's so many tools,
Yes.
but we're gonna go to the one that we use, which is the
Mhm.
family constellation.
Family
Tell them a
constellations.
little bit about that, Maya.
So, family constellations can help you identify that root of conflict that you are connected to, that you haven't been able to see where it comes from or why you're following, why you're doing it the same. And then it doesn't allow you to grow, to develop as an individual. So constellations help you identify that memory or that sort of perspective, because we are carrying, that's an inheritance.
Mhm.
The perspectives, the memories, what we felt, what our parents felt, we are still carrying those unresolved memories. So we can find those in constellations and then we can reconcile them.
Heal
Mhm.
them, liberate them,
Integrate them.
integrate them, which is the main thing.
Yes.
It's allowing, accepting them, and uniting them to
And
us
then
because they are us.
transcending.
And then
Transcending happens. And then you can go
transcending.
back to the flow of love. That's how it works pretty much. It's very simple. You can just tap into it instead of trying to do more outside, just go inside. And this tool is a blessing that not many people know about it. That's why we are here sharing this information. We want everybody to give yourself the opportunity to experience constellations at least once and see that sometimes we think that we got to forgive maybe mom and dad, but maybe not so much. As when you come to the constellation, you start seeing how you're connected to all of those old memories that are still affecting you today. So
And still, they are your trigger and they pulse. And the constellation will bring that out through
yes,
experiences.
yes. So we want to also invite you to, since if you haven't decided to constellate yet, just to stop, see your life today. Where is it today? What is it that, who are you excluding? Who are you rejecting? And take this person or this situation in front of you and see what is telling you. Because if we begin by individuals, when this individual heals, the whole her or his her whole system heals. And if that system heals, guess what? Since we are one whole unity, the whole unity heals. That's how powerful it is. So, our invitation for you today is to bring into your mind at this moment what things I don't like about others, what bothers me from that person. Bring that person that you don't like at all, that you tend to reject, that you tend to not approve, and energetically bring that person in front of you and look at that person and say, let me see what you're showing me that I haven't been able to see within myself. Let me see how what you're doing, I'm doing the same in another sort of way that I'm trying to deny, to be blind to it. And then at the end, when you find out what that is, you can say, thank you for being my mirror. That's it.
Mhm.
And then you can say at the end, I include you. I include you within my heart. Thank you for what you are showing me. And then that creates. And then just breathe in and breathe out. And you let me know, let us know here in comments how you feel after you do this little exercise.
And it's very powerful, especially the breath work in it. It's
Yes.
very powerful. So definitely let us know. And
Mhm.
talking about that, Maya, when is your next group constellation one? Is it on Tuesday or next week?
Well, actually, what we are doing right now is that we are in training. We just want you to know if someone is interested in becoming a family and systemic constellator. We are in training right now. That's why I don't want to commit to do more. I think I have plenty on my hands.
Yes, that is a big
yes,
one.
and I'm also doing Spanish groups. So I'm doing one-on-one sessions for now, online or on site. And if you feel like this information is resonating with you, maybe you might be interested in joining the second round of the 8 modules of the training on constellations. Yes.
Yeah, it will start later this year, right? Later this
By
year.
August, I believe. Yes.
Okay, so there we
Yes.
go.
And if you want to visit the program to see what it is about, you can go to systemichealinginstitute.com or familytreeconstellations.com.
And we'll make sure we'll add it to the Facebook Live so
Yes.
you have it.
Yes, that's what we're going to
So,
be doing. So
yeah.
I think that's all we wanted to share today, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I think it was deep enough.
Yes. I hope so.
Yeah.
And we want to say thank you for everybody who was there with
Absolutely.
us. Patty, Kenneth, Lokahi, Sneda. Thank you so much for being here. We're waving back to you too.
And if you know of anyone that will resonate with this type of work, definitely invite us. We're going to be targeting probably Sundays, Mondays.
Yes.
Only because she's doing so many different projects. So, you know, we don't want to stick to one day. We want to have flexibility.
Yes.
But as long as you're following Maya, you'll always know when she's doing her Facebook Lives.
Yes, please. So also join our group.
Definitely.
Yes, we have Transcending Your Ancestral Past. It's a group where I'll be posting different material and different content on constellations and having this new information of seeing life from this new vision, the systemic vision.
And also they can look you up on YouTube as well.
Also on YouTube, yes. This is gonna end up being in this new channel that I opened that is only in English, and my idea is only in English because I have one that is in Spanish. So we decided to have 2 channels.
She's expanding.
Yes, we are expanding. Yay! So thank you so much for being here tonight
and your support.
Yes, for your
we
support.
We are very grateful
for your presence.
Yes.
And mostly we just are throwing these words out there for whoever is ready to listen to them and to have that sort of, that's telling me something that I hadn't seen before, that it could help me resolve this in my life.
I like calling you seekers. Those seekers out there that are always seeking something to understand and transcend. Definitely look us up.
Yes. Welcome.
Welcome to this world.
Yes, welcome to this path. Yeah. So saying that, I guess we are ready to also go in.
Nice. Say bye. Good night. And thank you. Well, soon. Either we'll do it next week, either Sunday or Monday.
Yes.
You know, just like I said, just follow Maya. And you know, we'll be looking forward to till we meet again.
To meet you again here.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody, and thank you.
Hugs and blessings.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so let's see.